Okay, for this exercise you need to render geometric form, but instead of using grayscale, right now you are using colors. So it's the same process as just now. Rather than we use the grayscale mode, let's change to the HSB mode. Alright, within HSB mode, let's pick three colors, just plain three colors. Okay, for me I prefer blue. Okay, let me just switch this to a standard brown so that you can see. Okay, this is at, okay, undo. If I like that blue, right, let me say, let us work with a 30. Okay, a 50, and a 70. Okay, this color you can still tweak later, but it gives you a option to work with. All right, the next one, let me pick a pink. Okay, let me pick a 70 range, a 50 range, and a 30 range. Okay, yellow is a bit hard because it will look very dirty. Okay, so the next color I will pick will be a green. Okay, oops, let me just undo that. Okay, hold on, let me just clean this up. Let me take a 30. Okay, let me shift this slightly downwards. Oops, it's in a separate layer. So let's just copy this one. Let's just paste this. Okay, let me see. Alright, this is correct mode. Unlock this. Let's clean this up a bit. Okay, let's come back to this. Okay, so now let's get our last color palette, which is, let me pick, sorry, higher. Yep, about there will do. Yeah, I like this tone. So let's take 70, 50, and 30. Okay, in the event if it's too light, we can always still tweak. Meaning, let's say for example, this range is too light, right? Let's press a Ctrl U. We want something much more darker. Oops, cancel. Let's just pick slightly darker range. Bring down the curve. Ctrl M. Alright. Yep, this will do for now. So let me call this my color palette. Double click here. Call it color palette. Alright. We can always lock this guy up. Okay. So how do you start rendering this? For me, right? I'm much more comfortable with spheres. Okay. So let me start off with all my spheres. Let's call everything here A. Let's call everything here B. Alright. It's the same thing as the previous exercise. I will start with my marquee tool. Okay, I prefer a green, let me just call it sphere A01, right? Okay, let me pick this, and then I will start to paint. Oops, my brush is too harsh. Select the lighter one. Okay, and then I can start painting already. I can paint every single thing up first, right? Make no diff. Change to multiply. Alright. Change to multiply again. Okay. Color palette up already. I will start to paint my darker tone, which is my sphere A02. Right, and then I will open up another one, sphere A underscore 03. Change it to multiply. Okay, then I can always start to erase those stuff which I do not really need. Okay. In the event it's not too dark, right, you can still tweak it a bit, meaning the darkness that you want is not achieved here. Alright, we can always still do a quick touch up. Okay, go quick erase, overall erase, and then edit the last portion. Okay, the last one we always need to put the, then call it as sphere 01. Okay, this portion, if you remember previously, we need to add in our whites. Okay, this will help to create the pop that you need. Alright, you can always start to reduce a bit. Oops, let me just shift this guy out here. You can shift and tree slightly down. Alright, let's group them up and I call it sphere A. Okay, within the same guy itself, I can always do a copy and then oops. Okay, within the same guy, change the group, do not auto select. You can always select the whole piece, call it sphere B, and then scale it down to fit the other shape. Okay, in that way, right, we save some rendering time. Alright, so how do I hide this? Oops. Okay, what I will do is that I will mask it out. Okay, so I need to change to a, okay, using a brush tool in black, I will mask out. Okay, same for this. I will use a marquee tool first because it's all straight, and then I will use my brush tool to mask it. So in that way, right, let's say for example if I disable my layer mask, it's still there for me to do any amendments. Okay, that's how we clear the spheres. So if you look at the shape again, alright, the next one that we can touch, right, let's touch the second easiest or the second most comfortable for me, would be the so-called geometric shapes here. Okay, or the cuboids. I'm going to start to call it cube A underscore 01. Oops. Let's get the line tool out. Draw it. Alright, so once we have that, we can do the eyedropper. Okay, my cuboid, I prefer a blue. Okay, let's just select the blue. Change to multiply mode. Okay, similar to just now, let's call it cube A underscore 02. Okay, let me take my key tool again. I'm going to start to minus out. Okay, change to my multiply. Pin bucket. Alright, I'm going to call the next one cube A underscore 03. Let me change to multiply mode again, and then I will start to minus out. What can I minus out, which is this? Okay, and then start to pin. Okay, in here itself, right, we can start to press Ctrl U and then start to tweak stuff. Let's say, for example, here itself, you think you need more saturation, more darkness. Alright, let's take the top one. Okay, we can increase the saturation a bit so that the box look pop up. Okay, under 2, we can start to toggle with the brightness a bit, and then number 3, toggle slightly a bit more so that it can get that pop. Alright, so once we have this, because it's the same shape there, right? It's the similar thing again. We can do a group. We call it cube A. Let me just do a direct copy again. Then we call this cube B. I'm going to just bring this guy here. Alright, I have a shape which I want. So the next one, what I can do is to prepare my mask. Let me just show a quick one. Okay. Right, now I have that, so now I can start to, let's say I do a masking, a quick mask again. Okay, the objective of this exercise is to understand the form by values, tonal values 1, 2, 3, and 0. Okay, so in areas that you need to render fast, you can always reuse. Alright, so let's say, for example, this shape here. Now I can use my eraser tool again. Oops. Start to do a quick erase here. Okay, let's reduce this. Okay, so now that's that. I need to mask out this shape next. Okay, change to brush mode, black. Do not forget to mask it out. Okay, I use a lot of masking in my works so that I work non-destructively, and then I can always go back and change. Okay, so in the next video, now that we have done the spheres, we've done the cuboids, in the next video we will touch more on the cylinders and the cone.